Today, I want to talk to you about instincts and gut feelings versus the trading system. Now, when you start out and you're trading a small dollar figure, this is going to be fine. Your gut might actually lead you in the right direction for a while. Our trading system is built so that we follow a set of rules, very hard and fast set of guidelines. And we follow that exclusively. We don't go with instinct. We don't go with gut feelings. We trade something that we can reproduce, something that we've proven to be successful and profitable. And if we trade this, we are going to be making money if the account is small, and we're going to be making money if the account is really, really big. And this is really an important aspect to this. When you are trading a small account, you're trading with a few $100s, for example. Now, this is a dollar figure that you're very familiar with. You're going to be spending as much as what's in your account once a week on something anyway. So you've got really your head wrapped around that dollar size, that dollar figure. And if you blow that account, it's not usually going to be a really big problem to refund that account. If you blow $250, not a huge deal for most people to put in another $250. What's going to happen though is over the course of your trading career, the first few months, hopefully, you're going to start seeing that account get bigger and bigger. You're going to grow that $250 to $1,000. Now, $1,000, most of us are still fairly familiar with $1,000. If you blow $1,000 account, it's not a huge problem to really refund it if you want to kind of match what you're at. So if you blow $1,000, putting another $1,000 in, for most of us, I think we can probably manage that. But what happens when you start getting into $10,000? When you start getting into an account that's $50,000? Well, all kinds of things start happening in your head at this point. You've got a $50,000 or $100,000 bank account. Most of us are not familiar with $100,000. Who of us has actually had $100,000 in an account at any one time? Most people have not. You're going to grow an account to this kind of level and beyond at some point. But once you start getting to a dollar figure that you're uncomfortable with, and it's going to get you long before you get to $100,000. A friend of mine can easily grow an account to $30,000. And as soon as he hits that $30,000 wall, everything becomes really, really uncomfortable. His trading style changes dramatically and he becomes very, very scared. He's a scared trader at $30,000. $25,000, no problem. Follows the rules and it's just easy. But once he gets to $30,000, everything changes. And you're going to find a wall, a level that you're going to be uncomfortable with. And it might be 5,000, could be 10 or 30,000. Maybe it'll be more, maybe it'll be 50,000, but you're going to get to a wall that is uncomfortable for you to trade. The amount of money that you're going to be risking on any one trade is going to be relatively big. And your brain is going to start thinking, well, I could be using that money to pay those bills. I could be using that money for this or that or the other thing. And the risk that you're taking on a trade, you're going to lose, let's say $2,000 at one point on one trade in potentially 10 minutes. Now, when you lose $2,000 in 10 minutes, it's simply a percentage of whatever the account is. You were not having any problems with that when your account was only $250, but now that it's big enough that you're risking these massive amounts of money on a trade, not something practical out there in the world, bills and stuff, your brain really kind of goes sideways here. It doesn't comprehend it properly. And your ego is going to start sabotaging everything that you do to get you back down to a more comfortable level, to a more reasonable dollar figure. So when you start trading with your instincts, when you start trading with your guts, once the dollar figure becomes uncomfortable, those instincts, those gut feelings is controlled by your ego and it is going to knock you down. You're going to start taking trades that you know that you shouldn't take, but you do it anyways because the overwhelming drive, the instinct is to do that. And that is to get you back down to a comfortable level. You are going to spend a lot of your time trading in this uncomfort zone. You're going to be outside of your comfort zone because you are dealing with numbers that you're not familiar with. Trading the system as the system says, the specific lot size because of whatever the account size is. This is where my stop goes. This is the entry. This is where I get out. I have to let the trade run. I'm going to take my loss if it comes my way. These are going to keep that account growing, whether or not you're dealing with numbers that you are comfortable or not comfortable with. Once you get to $100,000, you're risking $2,000 on a trade, and you're potentially going to win $2,000-$3,000 in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, half hour, 2 days, whatever the case is. You can win, a couple grand in a very, very short period of time. And that's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But so are the losses. They're going to get bigger and bigger simply because just the percentages are going to stay the same, but the numbers get bigger. So trading your instinct, trading your gut is a very bad idea because it is going to sabotage you. If you want to be successful at this, you've got to turn all that off. You can trade worried. You can trade a little bit afraid, but don't let that override what the system says to do. You've tested the system. You got to that level. You know this works. Keep doing exactly that. You can be worried about it all you like. Just don't let it tell you what it is that you should be doing, because that is going to sabotage everything that you've worked this hard for. So don't trade with your gut. Don't trade with your instincts. Do trade with a tested system, and it will keep that account growing.